I'm an industrial designer by trade, but my passion has always been cars. I've always wanted to be a car designer, even when I was little. So this is my first car. My brother and I bought this when I was 16, so it's been in the family for eons. It was an inline six, no power, sounded awesome. Lots of good memories in that car, but we wanted to keep it around, but I wanted to do something wild to it. I saw Gone in 60 Seconds, and I loved the design of the L&R. So I wanted to do an L&R coupe. And so got the body kit, started doing some work to the car, tore it right down, and realized that there was nothing left of the floor pan, of any of the floor. There was no structure left to it. So luckily I had a friend that was working in the industry, and he said, you know what, you got to get an Art Morris chassis. And so that's where this whole thing started. Tore it right down, and then my son was born, and then everything went brakes on. It sat for pretty much 16 years. And then my wife actually talked me into going hardcore on it. And a buddy of mine just started his hot rod shop, Plan B Hot Rods. And I talked to him about this project that I wanted to do because the Unicorn and Mustang Kyle just came out. And I'm like, oh, that really is wild. I love the dirt racers of the 70s and 80s where they cut fenders in there, and that really reminded me of that look. So we started on that journey of just kind of going really wild on this build. The one thing I got out of my design background was keep consistent with how you do things. There was lots of things that I wanted to do, but that didn't really fit the look or the finish or the feel of it. I think we've changed up the front end design 5 or 6 different times because it didn't look right. So the body is channeled over the chassis. The floor pan is actually 4.5 inches higher. We took the chassis and we actually widened the whole chassis 14 inches out. So the track is just humongous, but it's on airbags. It feels like a super powered go-kart. Like it's just so wide, so low. Every time you dive into a corner, there's no corner dive, it's just sticking to the road. Drive this thing as much as I can. It goes everywhere. It's got chip marks in the front from rocks and things, or my little Band-Aid protector in the front. When it first came into the garage, my son dropped a grinding blade. It bounced off the wall, bounced off the floor, and hit the front, and he felt horrible. Right after the paint job, and it's like, it's okay, this is what this car is meant to be driven. At some times wear earplugs because it's so freaking loud, but yeah, it's made to drive. Yeah. Originally, I had the side scan to the car. I tried to do it with the old system where cutting buck pieces up and fitting them to it. And I was just getting more and more frustrated trying to get into the CAD. Used a scanning service for a boat, actually. So he gave me this guy's card. He scanned the side of the card, and then I built all the models in CAD off of that, and then 3D printed cores. Originally, I was gonna 3D print the cavity and then just make a conventional mold to pull carbon fiber in. And the part felt so cool and had some thickness to it that I'm like, I gotta get this in there. And Brad at Plan B said the same thing. The 3D printed part is part of the coolness of it. So we built a variety of different flares and stuck them on the car, and this is the one that fit. Originally, I was just gonna carbon fiber it just for the strength and then paint it. The look of the carbon fiber really popped. It made the thing look absolutely mean. The hood itself, which is a 3D printed core and then skinned, we actually built a buck and a mold to put a hood bump on it. And when driving around with the engine sticking out, everybody looks inside, loves the subframe underneath, loves to see the components. So they were all looking through this hole. And I'm like, I gotta figure a way. And I was originally thinking, oh, maybe I do the whole thing in a clear plexi. And I came up with this like skeleton idea of the frame. And I printed 3 pieces, I stuck them together, and I sent Brad a picture, and he goes, I've never seen anything like that, and it looks so freaking cool, let's do it. And originally we took measurements to design it so that it would fit a supercharger, because I knew I was gonna have a supercharger. But the 3D printing, we've got the inner console is in there, the airplane starter with all the light controls on there. The rear sequential lights are carbon fiber skinned 3D prints. The new window spoiler that I just finished up, 3D printed and then carbon fiber skinned. I love it. One of the best tools in my garage is my 3D printer. I'll come up with a concept and start modeling it up and sketching it out and throwing it together, building it quickly to see if it's what I like, and then print it out and stick it on the car and see if it fits. My industrial design training was always form, fit, function, right? The three things. So I've had it in the past where I sketch things up that really look cool, but they don't work properly, right? So it's good to quickly get into something that functions, that you can look at, that, okay, it clears different parts. Like, that's what I love with the 3D scanning, is that you have something in a 3D space that you can build around now quickly and easily, and also looks cool in the aesthetic, right? I did a bunch of pieces originally for this that I machined out of aluminum, and it'd take you 20 hours worth of work just to machine a piece, and then you look at it and you put it on, it's like, yeah, it's not right, but I'd spent all that time doing it. I'm just gonna keep it there. Well, this is like, you put it on, you fit it, it's not right, just throw it out and start again, yeah. Like you put in the Whipple, scares the crap out of me. Just getting really used to driving it. The engine loves a totally different RPM range. Before with the Coyote, it was loved the low end and then winding up to the high end. With the Supercharger, you have to start in mid-range and then go up because it sucks so much air through. It's a totally different drive. And a lot of fun though, yeah. So this is 622 to the wheels, but it's almost 500 foot-pounds of torque, like right off the chart. It just hits and then it's flat across. And that's what's scary about the car, is that there's nothing in it, there's no weight to it. And the torque, it'll rip the tires in third, just pumping it. Yeah. It's got a strange 9-inch engineered rear end. Everything else was engineered by Art Morse, so I know it's solid. I've also used 3D prints for compression mold, carbon fiber, so where you tear it up, put it in with resin, and then it squeezes the resin into the shape with the carbon fiber, and it makes these bulletproof parts. So I've got new hood latches coming up that are in compressed carbon fiber, and then also did some layups and a vacuum bagging as well. I ran the first 3 molds with the shop vac, and then I got a cheap vacuum pump off of Amazon for the last 2, but they all work beautifully. We are a builder's house. I think I've molded more pieces in my kitchen and on my counter than I can count. My son's wrapped all the parts of his car in our living room and on our dining room table. But we just make do and redo it, right? Originally I was like, I'm gonna track this thing, no problem. And then when you finish it up, it's like, I want to track it, but that wall looks really, really close to the track. So you spend all this time and energy putting it into it and the things you want to do with it. And I'll get there, I'll track it. It's a learning curve to get to the point where you emotionally can let that go, right? So I have had so much enjoyment from the process of designing, building, meeting new people, exchanging ideas. That's the best part, is chatting with people about cars. It was probably a good 3-4 year process, continually going through it, but it was a fun process. I drove it in bare metal for a year. We had made suspension changes, we made weld point changes, we changed up the roll cage, changed up where the seats were sitting, where the seat belts all fit in. The main thing was this thing had to drive. This car, it's family. It's been in the family since I was 16, so it had to reference my family. So the front logo, that's the symbol for my family name, Chew. It's in the car, it's in logos throughout it, and it really ties in. The other one for me was that the hex pattern has always been a part of my life in some way or another. It really stuck with me. So that hexagon shape, you'll find it's all through this car. It's integral to who I am. It's a structural thing. It's a wild part of my history. I built products that have that look to it. I wanted to tie that in. If I'm proud of anything, it's that trial and error. Even the back window wing, made it up, put it on, it just doesn't fit right. I was not happy with it. I took a saw to it and you just cut it and make it fit the way you want to fit it. Even though you put all this time and energy into it. My uncle and my mom worked on cars. They inspired me to work on cars. They inspired me to take it to this. My son's just starting on his car journey. He's worked on 3 different cars, built the S14 in the back, and it's a connection, right? So if I'm most proud of anything, it's something that binds the interest together for me and my family, for sure. You know, you're starting a project, understand what you want to do, have your idea, have it, and stay focused on it, because it's really easy to get sidetracked, right? There's so much cool stuff out there, and you'll see this on Instagram and this on Instagram, and all those things don't fit, right? There's a lot of things that I see out there that are super cool that have no business being on this car, right? That's what I would suggest is stick to your vision. What I'm loving about bringing it to Curated is to see everybody else's ideas and see all these other beautiful vehicles and the stories behind them. That's the fun of cars, is stories, right? I'm excited to come and just share the creativity, but also share the stories with other people and hear how they're doing things, right?